Finding what you didn't lose. When someone deeply listens to you, it is like holding out a dented cup you've had since childhood and watching it fill up with cold, fresh water. When it balances on top of the brim, you are understood. When it overflows and touches your skin, you are loved. When someone deeply listens to you, the room where you stay starts a new life, and the place where you wrote your first poem begins to glow in your mind's eye. It is as if gold has been discovered. When someone deeply listens to you, your bare feet are on the earth, and a beloved land that seemed distant is now at home within you. John Fox. Welcome to the Poetry Oracle podcast, and thanks for listening. Sorry about missing last week. Sometimes life's health challenges just don't quite provide enough energy or desire to meet one's goals. And in that realization comes the compassion and forgiveness for oneself. So this week I want to thank all the caregivers, healers, and kind ears in my life that filled my dented cup. This week I so appreciate those who gave their time, talents, and even devote their professions to healing others and myself. And there have been times where I too serve in that capacity, one way or another, to deeply listen. And at other times, like all of us, my ear just couldn't or didn't feel it had the time to deeply listen to another. The last couple of weeks have been an odyssey of health challenges, some chronic, some new, that brought me to various healers who deeply love others, refilling their dented cups with life-giving water. There was a time when our childhood cup was free of dents, new and shiny, waiting eagerly to serve its role. And then life visits time, the cup gets dropped, tarnished, and sometimes remains bone dry, sitting on the shelf of our life. One example this week was the experience of family constellation therapy, where my guide put himself in a delicate and risky place to go back into my intense family history, which produced a story of war, battlefields, incarceration, and even murder, while also seeing the light and powerful energy also carried in his story. To witness that, feel its truth deep in my soul, and while we are all still working with all of that and what it means in my healing now, his willingness to use his own bare soul as a mirror to my tribal familial story was an act of compassion and love. He also has offered me the opportunity to try a new regimen of therapy, not tried before, as we explore alternative, non-mainstream healing modalities. Another kind ear is my weekly confidant, doctor, guide, mentor, who commits himself every week to deeply hearing me and many others. And even on the toughest weeks, like last week, where the pain is strong, my cup is filled again to assuage my thirst for healing through a deeper understanding and acceptance of myself. I also have been doing a light and sound therapy modality offered to me in the community and supported by guides who work with me where I am, coach me into seeing what is real and not a mirage, and then lead me on healing journeys of sound and light that inform my day and my future direction. Finally, I have had 2 men this week that have given their own time and kind ears in sitting with me in support, friendship, and brotherhood. Just sitting together, having a meal, or going to an amazing movie, feeling together its meaning and its beauty, reminds me of the times in childhood and my adult life where I was just loved for who I was. To bring that feeling back, even for a few moments, as John Fox states, is something that one has always had and has now, even if I often feel it was somehow lost in the dents and the tarnish of life that comes with living. And the final kind ear I have been listening to in a much deeper way is my own, listening with it all the feelings that are part of our human condition. I keep returning to Pema Chodron's little book, When Things Fall Apart, and each time I read it, a new inflection and new realizations are found within it for me. My inner ear that is required must have loving kindness, gentleness, non-judgment, and the ability to breathe in life on the in-breath and also breathe a little death on the out-breath. So often I have resisted this middle way, which does not rely on deeds from the past or plans for tomorrow, just on hearing in the present what is. My fear and trepidation to really listen with my kind inner ear brings such a fear that all of this is just wasting time, that I must prove myself in the world, and the constant striving for pleasure and avoidance of pain. All of these experiences this week help remind me again of many others who love me unconditionally for who I am, even if I cannot physically be with them right now, eye to eye, with our hearts connected. My cup runneth over, as they say, taking me back to a time when I was sure of my place on the ground under my feet and my unique divine self, alive and valuable, at home in the world. The innocent, shining, beautiful, beaming boy in the moment, fully accepting of himself and the magnificent world and believing all was well and good. A gleam of the sun shining off the silvery, shiny new cup. Until next time, deep bow and blessings, again to all who remain committed to healing me and others, and those who love me unconditionally in the world. May your hands be wet with a cup overflowing. About John Fox. John Fox is a certified poetry therapist, a poet and author of Finding What You Didn't Lose, Expressing Your Truth and Creativity Through Poem Making, and Poetic Medicine, The Healing Art of Poem Making. He teaches regularly at the collegiate and postgraduate level as an adjunct faculty member of the California Institute of Integral Studies, Sophia University, and Holy Names University of Oakland. He taught for 20 years as an adjunct at John F. Kennedy University, first through the Graduate School of Professional Psychology, and then since 1997 in the Arts and Consciousness Department. His website, the Institute for Poetic Medicine, offers trainings and certifications using poetry and healing illness and loss, as well as many other resources and support for expressing oneself through poetry.